My name is Melissa Kesner-Fultz. I am a real estate agent with Caldwell Banker Realty and have been for 20 years. I am located in the Baltimore area. However, my area expands just over the Bay Bridge out to the mountains of Hagerstown, Frederick area, southern Maryland down a little bit south of Annapolis, and then in the northern Baltimore area out just past House and Timonium area. So it's a pretty large area. We try to service as many people as we can in those areas.
Okay, and do you have like a specialty that...
So I do specialize in residential real estate. I don't touch commercial. It's a totally different beast, something that I leave to the professionals. But I do specialize in residential real estate.
Okay, good to know. I'd like to know how you dipped your feet into the real estate industry. What's your story on how you got in there and how you got to where you are today?
So kind of interesting. Grew up, my mom was a real estate agent and has been now for 40 plus years. Okay. My father was in sales, was known as the, I guess you could say the gentleman that could sell ice to an Eskimo, so to speak. So I grew up in a sales family. Went to college at University of Maryland, College Park, go Terps, and then graduated with a degree in graphic design and a minor in interior. So I went into the graphic design industry for about 20 years and really wanted more flexibility so I could spend time with my family and my children. So looked into real estate, took the class, and back in 2004 decided to get my license. And the rest is history.
That is awesome. I'd like to know what it's like to have parents who were kind of already in the industry and having so much knowledge and experience that they could share with you. Were there somebody that you could use as coaches maybe or help?
Absolutely. My mom was kind of a trailblazer. She kind of went in head first and just kept going. My dad, being in sales, kind of always had that real clear way of doing things, kind of understood the process, which made it a little bit easier for us. And the fact that both of them had so many clients that found them respectable and trusted them, I think made me realize how they really were. And it kind of gave me an ethical background of this is how you should be. You should be honest and you should be loyal to your clients and your family. And a lot of your clients become friends and family over time, especially in real estate. The hope is that they're comfortable enough with you that in the future they're going to refer you to their clients and friends and family, because that for us is a huge compliment. Obviously, our business is a referral-led business. So I think having that and understanding that is a really key part of becoming a really strong real estate agent or even a salesperson in any aspect.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And now you run your own business. I'd like to know why the ethics is so important to you and how you help your clients best, decide what is best for them and not just looking out for yourself.
Right.
I'd like to know, how you differ from the others.
Well, I think one of the things that I always go by is that the process is just as important as the purchase. I think understanding what you're doing when you're making such a large investment, in most cases, sometimes the single most expensive investment you can make in your life, is important to understand from day one. So ethically, we have a responsibility to our clients to make sure that they're understanding the information, that they're making choices and decisions that make sense for them, not just because they can afford it, but because they want to do something with it. Real estate is still considered one of the safest investments when a long-term gain is looked at. And I think it's important to make sure that when people are purchasing a home that they're comfortable in the process. There's so many hurdles and there's so many things that can happen during the process that can be very stressful. So we want to be there to guide them every step of the way. So ethically, I think honesty and integrity is such a huge part. Being a real estate agent oftentimes comes with scrutiny. There's a lot going on in the marketplace and a lot in the world right now against real estate agents or in conjunction with real estate agents. I guess I shouldn't say against, with the way that we handle our business.
Yes.
And ironically, for those of us that have been in the business for years, we're not doing it any differently than we always had. Explanation, understanding, explanation of what's going to be their choices, their process, that's a really big part of it. And I think communication, making sure that you're having that open communication with people, not only just the people who are your clients, but the people you're working with. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, real estate agents, our goal is the same, to get everyone to the table, to make everyone happy, and to make sure that everyone is doing it exactly how it needs to be done.
Oh, absolutely. I think communication is so important no matter what industry, but especially
Absolutely.
for real estate, because
Yep.
you don't want your clients to be in the dark or you're speaking in tongues to them. Like, what does that
Right.
even mean? Okay, I'm embarrassed to ask my real estate agent because they seem super smart and maybe they should
Well,
expect me to know these
right.
things,
And I
right?
think that's one of the biggest things is that people, you assume someone understands. And I think we all know what assumptions are. But I think we have to kind of step back for a minute and remind ourselves we were once in that position if we just purchased our first home, or if we built a home, or if we're, looking as an investment property, and kind of taking it from the beginning. Just because you may be a savvy financial investor, or you might be a doctor or a teacher or a stay-at-home parent, doesn't mean that you understand how to purchase a property and what needs to be done. Our industry has seen a tremendous amount of changes over the years. And I think what holds true is that for those of my clients, I feel as though they've been given the best information from day one to make the best informed decisions at the end of the day.
Yes. I'd like to also talk about that you were recently, I guess, featured in the Washington.
Yep. So I got Washingtonian real estate agent recognition, as well as the Best of Baltimore. Myself, and along with a lot of other agents that I work with, did it. It was a pretty amazing award, something that I haven't had before.
That is so cool.
So I thought that was pretty cool. I am not one that likes to be out in the spotlight. I kind of like to sit in the background. I don't like all the accolades. I don't need the accolades. Although I must say it's nice to get it occasionally.
Yeah, right,
Just a recognition of your hard work, I think, is important. But yeah, that was a pleasant surprise. I just got that in the last month and a half.
Congratulations.
So,
That's
thank
so
you.
cool. Do you get like a physical copy of it? Do you have that?
Well, I got a copy of the magazine, and then we had I guess it's like a meet and greet where we were down at the Hippodrome in Baltimore for the Baltimore Magazine one.
Yeah.
And then for the Washingtonian one, we got recognition in a magazine, and just a lot of social media posting and, influence there.
Yeah, I love that. That's so cool. That's great. Congratulations to that. Speaking of social media, how are you marketing listings, or how are you even marketing yourself and what you do out there to make sure newcomers who are looking into a real estate agent know and are aware of what you do?
So social media is friend or foe.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I think that we can use it in a lot of really positive ways, which in our industry has made it much more easily accessible for our clients and our customers to see properties. We do video tours, we do high-end photography, we do aerial and drone photography that gives you not only a idea of the property, but the surrounding area. I always look at real estate and say, if it's too good to be true, it is. There is always a reason. And real estate is one of the usually easiest ways to determine that. If something seems to be too good to be true, oftentimes there's something you can't see. So having the ability to do aerial photography and having the ability to see true pictures rather than those that are skewed by a lens, I think has made a big difference. We also like to post current events, information that's going on within the community, highlight our clients, especially those who have done renovations or done improvements to their property that they're willing to share, as well as personal stories.
Yes.
I've got clients from all spectrums. I work with military, first-time home buyers, seasoned home buyers, and it's kind of nice to see the different steps and the progressions that they do over the years.
No, absolutely. I'd like to know your personal opinion on social media for business owners. Do you think, I know you said it's friend or foe, but do you think that it is an asset currently for them to have? Or
Absolutely.
What are you, yeah.
Absolutely. And I think it's funny. I'm not a huge Twitter fan. I don't tweet that much. Actually, X now, I guess
X
is what
now.
it's called. I've got to correct myself there.
I'll only call it Twitter.
Yeah. I use Insta and I use Facebook. And it's funny because certain social media platforms appeal to certain age groups. I find that Facebook is more to our seasoned age group. It's a social calendar, a social opportunity for them to reconnect with people and individuals staying with current. I like Insta because I think it's much quicker. I like the quickness of the snapshots on it and the adding to your story and the little clips, and it's not super wordy. LinkedIn is what I consider your online resume. So we do have opportunities where we post to that to get forums and blogs to have information on other agents. And sometimes when I'm looking for other agents on a referral purpose, Or if I'm working with another agent, I'll go to LinkedIn to kind of check them out, kind
Yeah.
of, see where they stand, see if there's any similarities to things that I've done. And my clients use that as well. And then I do have a small YouTube channel, not a whole lot published on there. It's mostly my properties, our
Okay.
tours of our properties, but another outlet social wise that people can kind of look at and see.
Yeah.
I feel like people are getting away from so much of heavy website presence as much as they're leaning towards social media to
Yeah.
kind of take that over for them. I mean, the website is nice to just have as a base and then kind of grow from that.
Absolutely. No. Love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
Talk to me about your kiddos. Like,
Oh.
it sounds like they're already aspiring little entrepreneurs too.
Yes, so I have 4 children. I have my oldest is Mark, and he is from my previous marriage, and he has a forge business called Barn Cat Forge in North Carolina. He lives there with his wife, Steph. And then my next one is Tate, and Tate just opened last year his own mechanic shop with his partner Cody in Arbutus. Called All Out Auto Works, just to give that a plug. And then my next child is my daughter Hayden. She just graduated from St. Mary's College in Maryland with a marine sciences degree and played field hockey there, and just opened her own shop called Simply Made Here. It's a workshop and studio. She's a mosaic artist.
Wow.
And her goal is to work with sea turtles. And then I know, it's pretty exciting. Yes.
Yeah.
And then I have a 14-year-old who is a sophomore in high school. Her name is Bella. And she's just brilliant. Her mind works in a totally different way. She might not be creative in the sense
That's
of,
okay.
Cars or ironwork, forging or mosaics, but she's really super creative on the computer side. So they're all very individual. They're all 7 years apart. They are probably the most important thing in my life. Don't tell my husband I said that. But family's just a really big deal to me. It always has been. And that was kind of a really good reason for me to go into real estate, because it gave me the flexibility. I didn't miss a school field trip. I didn't miss a PTA meeting. I didn't miss a sporting event. I've missed a few over the years, actually. I should say that. But
Can't be perfect, but we
yeah.
get it. We get it.
I think it's important to have that flexibility, and real estate gave that to me. And fortunately for me, my clients understood that. We made it abundantly clear my family came first. So if there was something that came up that involved my family, they were very understanding of it because they knew that up front.
Yeah, no, that is so great. I love that you're able to balance your business endeavors with family and not missing any important moments of their life.
Right.
They're gonna look back at that and they're gonna be like, "Mom was there." Because
I hope
sometimes
so.
it is hard. Please, guys, come on, work with me here. No, but I think that's so wonderful, and I love hearing the stories that each and every different entrepreneur tells me of why they get into their business, what is their passion, and clearly yours is real estate and family, and finding that nice balance where you can do both but also be there for your family. I think that's just so beautiful.
It's a big deal. I mean, I think we oftentimes are so go that we don't stop and look at the little things. And if you are fortunate enough to have a family, that's a foundation for me. So even on sometimes the worst day, when I come home, I have to kind of step aside and realize, you know what, there's things that are much more important than this, and this will pass, and kind of take the the glass is half full approach, the more positive approach to something.
Yeah.
It's hard. These times are hard. I see a lot of people, including ourselves, struggling sometimes to make the right decisions financially, mentally, morally. And I think if you stay true to yourself and your beliefs, that can make a huge difference.
No, yeah, absolutely. What are some challenges that you have found, whether it was in the past or currently, with the real estate market or the industry or even with clients? Talk to me a little bit about that.
I think a lot of the problem is making sure that your clients understand who you are as a person first and foremost. I am a realtor, which means that I'm part of the National Association of Real Estate Realtors, which has gone through a lot of scrutiny over the last several months.
How come?
Just because of all of the new lawsuits that are out and all of the issues and concerns with buyers, agents, and the way that compensation has been done. Ironically, like I said, for myself, I haven't changed or needed to change the way that I do my business, because what they're asking us to do is something that I've always done.
Yeah.
And I think that that's important. I think the changes in the financial world I think the change in values of properties. We've gone through a period of time. I work oftentimes with military, veterans, and first-time home buyers, whereas they've been priced out of the market in a lot of cases over the last couple years because they are not in a position where they can over-escalate pricing. They're not in a position where they can forego a home inspection, which is not something I'm comfortable with, especially if you've never owned a home before. I think you need to know what you're getting into.
Oh, yeah.
And they were just in positions where people were coming to the table with a lot more than they could offer, and it made it very difficult for them. So I think that's been a struggle or an adjustment, is to how to still be there for those clients and make them understand that their time will come. There'll be a house. You just have to be patient for it, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I think that we as real estate agents often get scrutinized because people don't really understand everything we do. Oftentimes they think we just kind of push papers and we have a couple conversations. But I don't think they really understand that we take our work home with us. There's many a night at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, I'm doing computer work, or I'm looking into things, or I'm putting out fires, or I'm trying to have conversations with agents that might not be as open to conversation as I'd like them to be, or I can't get communication from a lender and we're ready to settle and they think it's my fault when it's something that I can't control. So I don't think that people understand that. Surely there are clients that I've had that are much easier and it's quicker, but I've also had clients where I've shown 68 homes to, and I don't get paid for that. I don't get paid for that driving. I don't get paid for that time, that effort and energy. I've had clients where I've written 8, 9 contracts that have been rejected. Those times, I just don't think people always step back and understand that.
Yeah.
I also find in our industry that oftentimes people are very quick to assume that they can get a better deal or ask us to make changes in our pay structure or the way that we do. And they don't understand that it's not just set by us, it's set by our companies. But that would be no different than me walking into a doctor's office and saying, you know what, I know I need this operation, but instead of charging me this, why don't you charge me this?
It doesn't work like that.
No, it doesn't. And then I'm questioning them. Just because you've sold a home doesn't mean you understand the industry. Our laws change continually. They're constantly improving those laws, hopefully, to help and better people. And I think that we always have to be up on those things. We have to take continuing education for that. And I think people just kind of sometimes take it for granted.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you mentioned that because I wasn't even aware of some of the stuff, and the way you said, like, it's like going to a doctor and saying like this. I didn't realize it was like that. So I'm sure that this is going to open the eyes for some people who listen to and are like, oh, well, I didn't know that and I did assume that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you mentioned that. I'd like to talk about your team that you currently have. How many people are with you?
It's
partners?
just the two of us right now. It's just my mom and I. My mom's been in the business, like I said, 40 plus years. I've been in the business just over 20. Well, it'll be 20 this past April.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I like the small team. We do everything ourselves. We
Wow.
don't have people that do everything for us. When you get us from start to finish, which I really like. We don't pass you off to someone else. We are there every step of the way, and I think that that's really important. We're a referral-heavy business, so we really rely on our clients and their experiences with us to then refer us to their other friends and family members. I always joke, I feel like it used to be that you had your doctor, you had your minister. If you were religious, you had your best friend, you had your real estate agent, and that was kind of a set way.
Yeah.
These days, it's not like that anymore. Everyone's always looking for someone new. Everyone's looking for the best deal. And sometimes you don't always get what you pay for.
Yeah, I know.
So it's a little bit of a challenge. We were talking about challenges. But I think overall, I've been really happy with the way my clients have been treated. And having that small team that we have, it's been kind of nice. When I'm away, I've got coverage. When she's away, she has coverage. We are both very good at what we do, and that's not meant in a cocky way.
No.
It's just there's a confidence behind it when you've done it
Yes.
as long as we have.
No, that's good. And I like somebody who's confident. Like, that's
Yeah.
somebody you want to work with, who has confidence that you're going to get the best of the best to work with you and that you're going to work with them. So
Right.
it's good to have confidence. I don't think
Yeah.
it's cocky. But I know it can come off cocky. But just know, I don't think it was.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That's
Yeah,
good to
you're
hear.
welcome. Let's see. How do you stay organized and manage your time effectively as a real estate agent and a mom, especially when dealing with multiple clients and transactions?
Calendars. Lots
Right?
of calendars. Color-coded, list. I'm a lister. I would say that's something that my parents instilled in me. I'm very organized, and that's something that I am super thankful for. I would say most of my children are that way as well.
They got it from mom.
Oh, I would hope so. I think a little bit from dad too, but nonetheless. I definitely every day I am referring to my calendar. The night before, I always look over my calendar and see, trying to just kind of, put things in and make sure that everything's on schedule. Which isn't always so easy because things happen. And as you know, it's just, that's what we have to adapt and change to. But yeah, I would definitely say I rely a lot on my list and a lot on my calendar, and just looking at things in a week in advance or 2 weeks in advance or a couple, just to know what's coming up in the future. I like that.
Love it. And now, what are some things that you like to do to unwind? What do you like to do?
Sports.
Oh, talk
I
to me
love
about
watching
that.
sports.
Who's your team?
The Ravens.
The Ravens.
The Terps. The Orioles.
Go Baltimore.
Capitals.
Yeah. Okay.
So I love sports. I'm obsessed with sports. My family knows that once football season starts,
it's over for them. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I go through, actually, one of my best friends, she always knows right after Super Bowl, I get to a little bit of a depression, but I have college basketball.
Okay.
So that's good.
Hold
I'm
you
a
over.
big Terps fan. And then I go into lacrosse season. My daughter played field hockey, so I do have a passion for that as well. But I love watching sports, any sports. I loved watching the Olympics. I watched some of the Paralympics the other night, which is amazing. But yeah, big into sports. Tonight's the Ravens-Chiefs game.
You would know that, right?
I am so ready. 8:20. I am ready to go.
Ready to go.
My nephew, he is a huge Ravens fan with me, and we're going to the Raiders game, a bunch of us, and yeah. Big
Look at
into
you.
Ravens.
I love that. I love that you're living your best life, your best sports life there.
Yeah, so that and the beach. I love the beach. I love being outside. I love the water. There's something about it that's very calming and relaxing. So
I have to agree with that.
Yes.
What about hubby? Is he into sports too?
He played lacrosse, but he doesn't watch sports as much as I do.
That's so funny.
And it's funny because he knows, like, when it's a sports night, like when football's on, he goes elsewhere in the house because he sometimes doesn't always watch it.
No, okay.
But yes, he's not as big of a sports watcher, but he likes to play sports.
Yeah.
So that's big.
Cool.
So that's a good deal.
And what about you growing up? Did you play any sports?
Just volleyball and softball for a little bit, not really anything organized. Sports today is very different than when I was growing up. They start much younger. It's much more intense.
Wow.
It's much more expensive.
Okay, that part I believe.
Yes. Any parent who has a child who plays sports, whether it be a rec program or a club program or in high school or college, it is like you need a third job just to play,
Oh my gosh.
to pay for it. It's
You heard it here first,
expensive. But on the flip side, it's really great because it gives a base of organization. It gives an understanding of how to work with different personalities in a stressful situation, which I think is great. I think it's great for time management, which I think is something that they should teach in school that they don't.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Which I wish they did, because I think it definitely makes a difference when you have to balance so many different things to make sure that you can get through the day.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Is there anything that I have not touched on that you would like for our listeners to know in regards to yourself or your business?
So I do teach real estate. I teach through a school called Plan to Pass. And I teach the broker's course, and I teach modules in the pre-licensing course as well as the law section. And I think that's really important. I think understanding the business from the inside is huge. And I think being able to explain it to your clients and to explain it to your customers is a really strong foundation in any business, because it's really difficult when you're trying to sell something, but you don't know what it is you're selling.
Yeah.
And in our business, knowledge and communication, as I said, are huge. So I think that that's important. So to have that foundation, keeping in mind that it's always changing. Our laws, like I said, are changing. The contracts we use change. It amazes me at how many agents don't even understand the contracts that we utilize. And I think that I find very frustrating, because I feel like, how are you representing someone when you don't really understand what it is that you're doing? So I like the fact that I take my job seriously enough to go a step further and teach other agents how to become better agents.
Yes.
Or how to teach people who want to become an agent the best way to do it and set that foundation early.
Oh, I absolutely love that. I love that you're sharing your knowledge. Like, here, let me help you. It seems like you need a little bit of help, or if you need some help, I'm right here.
Yeah, I enjoy that. I enjoy going over my contracts with my clients. I've got it down to, I know what they normally need to hear. We go through every step of it. And sometimes they'll be like, I don't want to hear it. Just send it to me. I'll sign it. And I was like, it doesn't work that way. Not in this business.
Yeah, no.
So it's kind of nice and receptive to have that communication with your clients. I think it's important to be open and honest with them.
Oh, absolutely. This is going to be kind of off topic, but I love your nails. Like, tell me about this. Like, what did you ask for? This is so cool.
So this is for the Ravens because the Ravens colors are purple, black, and gold.
Yeah.
The young lady that does my nails, her name is Anne. She works at Avalon in the Columbia area, and she is an artist. She's insane. So I just kind of gave her free will, and I just told her do whatever she wants.
Show the camera. Look at that. Look at that sparkle and chrome and shine. This is for the Ravens, baby.
It is, 100%. And I'm big into glitter. So actually I have in my will that when I pass, I know this is morbid, but that I mix with glitter. That's just
I love it. I think that's
a goofy
great.
thing, but I think everyone needs a little sparkle. So
I love it.
It kind of works that way.
Well, that's cool. I saw this thing where it's like you can put your ashes into a record.
Oh, I've seen something like that.
And you can have like your favorite songs that people can like
and
play.
They play your,
I love music, so I'm like, I thought it's morbid too, but girl, you gotta think.
But you gotta think about those things.
Exactly.
I mean, it was funny coming in. I was listening to the radio and they were talking about caskets and death and it was just funny listening to other people's interpretations of what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's kind of cool. Like, I don't want a funeral. I want a party. I want people to have fun. I want people to enjoy and remember the good things. And I just want to be a part of that conversation. So
I agree.
I almost wish you didn't have a funeral.
Right? It's like
I kind of wish you had it before, like a party.
A good, a nice going away party. Yeah, and you have to wear like black and make it as sad as possible. That's kind of
no, I'm not for that either.
Yeah, right.
So when my dad passed in 2020.
I'm sorry.
It was difficult, but I know he's in a better place. But and he didn't have to live through COVID, thank goodness.
Oh,
because that was just in a nutshell, it sucked.
Yeah, absolutely, it did.
But at his service, everybody wore crazy socks because that was something that my dad liked. And my mom is a huge Orioles fan, largest Orioles fan I've ever met. Like, she bleeds orange. Her nails are orange. Her car up until recently was orange. Everything's orange. She has an orange shed. It's cedar, but it looks kind of orange. But nonetheless, so I'm sure that something with the Orioles will be brought into that as well.
Oh, that's beautiful. So, may there be many glitter moments in your life.
Thank you. I wish you the same.
Thank you. Now, any parting words before we end this podcast?
I don't know. I mean, I think I just wish people would go back to a more simple way. I wish people were more appreciative of each other. And I think in my business, in small business, I think it's really important to embrace that community. Yeah. There's a lot of us out there trying to make the world a better place. And I feel like sometimes we get so busy and so fast that we don't take a second to really think about those things.
No, you're right.
I appreciate my clients and my family and my friends that have allowed me to do this because I really love what I do.
And it shows.
Oh, thank you. And I'm hoping that my clients feel the same way because I hope to do this for a long time to come. But thank you.
Oh, no, absolutely. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing
thanks
your
for having
story,
me.
Your experiences. It was fun.
Appreciate that. Thank you.